सारे श्रोतागणों को नमस्ते और प्यार भरा जय गुरुजी। इस रूहानी जुस्तजू में आप सबका स्वागत है। ये एक ऐसा मंच है, जैसे कि नाम ही हमें बता रहा है, a forum where we engage in a dialogue to quench our spiritual quest. हम सब जानते हैं कि रब, गॉड, गुडनेस rests within us. रब को बाहर खोजने की जरूरत नहीं है, लेकिन कई बारी कोई किताब, कोई सत्संग, कोई रूहानी कहानी इस अंदर की तार को छेड़ जाती है। उसी भाव से हम सब लेकर आए हैं आवर फर्स्ट गेस्ट फॉर द डे, बैम्बी सिंह आंटी, जो हमारे बीच हाजिर है इस गुफ्तगू के लिए। तहे दिल से आपका शुक्राना आंटी। थैंक यू फॉर बीइंग पार्ट ऑफ दिस रूहानी जुस्तजू।
Jai Guruji, and thank you for inviting me to this beautiful show. I'm most excited to talk about our mutual love, shall we say, Guru Sahib Ji. And I look forward to where our conversations are going to lead us.
Yes, in this journey together. You know what? Because I'm myself on this quest for seeking spiritual enlightenment. And I think we all want that fulfillment. And like you rightly said, the closest thing and the most practical and real experience to that for us personally has been experiencing Guru Sahib. But we also recognize that today there is a lot of misinformation being spread about Guruji. Especially, विदेश में तो आंटी ज्यादातर वही संगत है जिन्होंने महाराज के कभी साक्षात दर्शन किए ही नहीं. So a lot of things are being said and done in his name. And while we know and we recognize कि सारी संगत बराबर है, लेकिन आपने तो महाराज के साथ इतना सारा समय बिताया, राधा आई शुड से, कि आपको वो सौभाग्य मिला, वो सौभाग्य प्राप्त हुआ. So what is the first thing that came to your mind when you saw Guruji?
Let me turn it around. What was the first thing you thought when you saw Guru Sahib Ji?
Noor, radiance.
So for you, it was love at first sight, in a way.
I want to say unconventional, because anything that I had in mind, based on, of course, the social conditioning that we all get, that picture of a guru was completely shook up. So it was different.
Well, you're lucky that that is still a lighter way your mind processed it. For me, the way my experience went through the first time, and that's exactly what I said to my mother-in-law. Look at that fraud. Ouch, I know.
Love the honesty. Thank you for sharing.
No, it is true, no? The Shukran says that truth sets you free. And this is the truth, that the first time I saw Guruji, I did not think he was a guru. I thought it was, I come from an age where orange-robed pundits and godmen were, even in movies, you would see they would be horrible, and do horrible things. And here we had Guru Sahib Ji in his cholas and his throne in S block. And he was not conventional in any way. And he was not normal in any way. It was completely a different scenario.
Right.
So it was very difficult for my mind to process Sahib as something divine or even Roohani, like you say. Nah, radiant, no way. So my first impression of Sahib was pretty negative.
Got it. Because I saw him the first time at Empire State. So did you personally witness a change from S Block days to the Empire State days? And then I think what I want to
inside.
hear from you is, you sharing maybe a pivotal moment or an experience that significantly impacted you or altered your initial thoughts on Guruji.
Well, let's just say that I started with a negative where Sahib was concerned. And for Guru Sahib to lead me to lead me up the path, so to speak, there had to be many, many pivotal moments. Because if I say, if at the first moment he had thrown me off by showing me that he is Rab, I would have run away, really run away, that, okay, I'm hallucinating or I'm under some kind of tantric magic. Okay. So for me, there were many pivotal moments. I think the first pivotal moment was when Guruji actually had to prove himself to me and cured my migraines. So it was, yeah, okay, there is something here.
Mm.
Okay. That breathe easy came, that, okay, this person is not a fraud, is genuine, has some powers. Okay. And my headaches are gone. And so
Yeah.
I think the next pivotal moment came when Saib was in Jalandhar and I was getting Khushbu in Delhi.
Wow.
It was an impossibility.
Yes.
That would
Yes.
be another, like these were little steps that Guru Sahib took me on, so that I knew for sure that I am on the right path. I am with the right Guru. But it was, till then, it was still Guru. It was always Guruji, okay, Guruji plus ho gaya, Guruji ka plus ho gaya, Guruji ka plus ho gaya. Because
Yes.
as he unfolded his petals, his lotus, his beauty,
Yes.
because I too have to understand each level. If I don't understand, there's no point.
That is so true.
So there were
Uh,
many, many, many points in my life where Guru Sahib, you slowly led me to where I am today.
No, that's beautiful. And I think Guruji मजाक में कहते थे ना चमत्कार को नमस्कार है.
It is chamatkar ko namaskar. I mean, come on. Okay.
Yes, in Kali Yuga, that is so true.
No, it is true. Guruji used to say, na, Kalyug which Guruan nu apne aap nu prove karna panda hai. In Satyug, you came to the Guru, and Kalyug, a Guru comes to you. That's what Guru
Yes,
Sahib used to say. But
yes,
you're very
yeah,
right.
yeah.
If these chamatkars didn't happen with Sahib, you think I'd be still hanging around?
Right, absolutely. And I think even the impact of those so-called pivotal moments are different on each soul.
Oh,
So, for
yes.
example, seeing that my mom's sugar levels did not spike up was great, but it wasn't an aha moment for me. The aha moment for me was when he was able to predict my examination paper, Delhi University economics ka. That was a jaw-dropping moment. You said, how's that even possible? Your health wealth tak to theek tha. But this is like talking about next level stuff. And I think that's how he works on each soul to give them a taste of, let me show you who I really am. And by no means have we become SMEs, or at least I can say for myself that I clearly still do not fathom his depth. But at least we know, like 25 years ago, I probably saw him as a Siddh Mahapurush, but
Yeah,
today there's no
exactly.
doubt in my mind that he is God.
Yes. It always takes some experience for each one of us to realize that our minds are too limited to what we think a guru should be and
Yeah.
what we think God should be. And we still don't understand. I don't think there's anybody in the Sangat who can say, I know Guruji.
Yeah.
It's not possible. No,
Yeah.
it's not possible.
I completely
Because, like you said, he gives a different experience to each one according to their soul's requirement. Like you limited Guruji ke, okay, how can he talk about economics, health, well, theek hai. We also limited Saib. We were Sati bought a new car and we were driving down to Chandigarh and the car got spoiled on the way, and brand new cars. Okay. We were getting, all of us, how we used to go to get our cars blessed by Guruji or get the keys blessed by Guruji or have Guru Sahib Ji sit in the car. So we were going, and when we reached there, Guruji said, "Why did you get late?" And we said that, car got spoiled. So that day, Guruji said, "Acha, chalo, let's go out for a walk, like the midnight walks. मोरनी पे चलते हैं." On the way, Guruji said, "के अच्छा गड्डी नु किया?" I said, "I don't know क्या है, it's a brand new car." ते खराब होगी? कहंदे नहीं नहीं बिल्कुल ठीक है, तुसी एवें ही कह रहे हो. So in my mind, I was like, no, you can talk about those things, but you can't be talking about this. So when we came back, we had whoever was left in the Sangat along Sati going below the car, under the car, above the car. Everybody was like putting their hands into the car to somehow fix it up. And we started the car and it was perfectly all right. It's such a small thing for somebody. For us, it was like, especially for men, it's like, okay, this is something.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. The
Down
immense
there.
powers of his, जिसे कहते हैं ना, his words. उनकी बात पत्थर की लकीर. अगर हुआ भी होगा कुछ and he said नहीं है, तो वो नहीं हो जाएगा.
Exactly. But we came back. We sent it to the Mercedes dealer. We told him something is wrong with it. They checked. There was nothing wrong. वहम का कोई इलाज नहीं है ना.
बिल्कुल.
We had to go through the whole process to realize that Saib knows best.
Yeah, नहीं, health के भी ऐसे कितने सत्संग सुनने को मिलते हैं, right? Where the doctors are convinced and they're showing you medical records and reports that, okay, ABC is wrong. And then, you go the next day and say, if Guruji has blessed you, कि चल तेरा कल्याण किता, those reports will completely get altered. And even doctors are like perplexed that ये हुआ तो कैसे हुआ? So
बिल्कुल.
how does one explain this phenomenon? Like it's unreal, right?
The thing is that you have to experience it. Like we tried to get a lot of friends to come. Okay. And they also would come and say, no. And Guruji had the best method of putting all our friends off. He would ask somebody for carpet. Then he said, मेरे को carpets की जरूरत है, यहाँ अपना address लिखो बड़ा. Then another person, he says, मैंने को मंदिर बनाना है, ज़मीन दे दो. The person never came again. Then next day, one of the days, one of our friends called up and said, "Listen, your Guruji, we saw him at Ghungru, which is a discotheque." And we were like, "Are you crazy? What is Guruji going to do at Ghungru?" And that day we had left. Vipi uncle was with Guru Sahib Ji. So the next day we said, "Did Guruji go somewhere?" And वो कहंदे सी एक डिस्कोथेक की होंदा, मैं अंदर जाके देखना की है. अंदर जाके 2 मिनट गुरुजी गए हैं, बाहर आके कहते सबसे गंदी जगह है, इत्थे ते गंदी गंद है. But our friends saw Guruji go into the discotheque. Forget the walkout. The walkout, they must have ignored. They must have said, Bamby sati phas gayi kisi ke paas. Literally. Right. So Guruji had his way of getting people into his fold and throwing people out of the fold. Literally.
Agreed.
And you have to experience to really know Guruji. You have to live through an experience to understand that, okay, even today, people get pulled. They get pulled. They go to the mandir. They go here. They go there. It's but it's only when they feel that thandak andar na, because of the vibration, then they say, okay, maybe I'll go back again, just for the thandak, just for that peace.
I agree. I think that so-called understanding how and how much is also a gift from him.
True.
Otherwise, you can see, you can hear, and you just won't get it. And that's okay too. That's his design. Yeah. So I have a more sort of a general question for you. In what ways has your spiritual journey influenced your perspective on life and its purpose?
So I'm going to give you a very general answer.
Yeah.
That all of us have turmoil in our life in some way or the other.
Absolutely.
Okay. That is the format of life. Because when you read Rera Sahib, it says Dukh Daru Sukh Rupya. That means Dukh is your dawai and Sukh is robe, because when you are in Dukh, you remember the Lord. And when you're in Sukh, you tend to forget the Lord. And so the purpose of life, like Guruji is all about the soul, whatever you might think, but ultimately Guru Sahib Ji is all about the soul. So for me, I had to learn to let go. I had to teach myself that all of us, all four of us, this just doesn't go for me, it goes for all four of us at home, that we are safe wherever we are, because this is where Guruji wants us to be. Whatever is happening with us is with Guru Sahib Ji's will, and that we have to have patience to reach wherever Guru Sahib Ji wants us to reach, because a lot has happened in our life which has been very frustrating, which has been like a fire all around us, and which has actually brought our family closer and has given us the ability to understand each other and to be really there for each other. And this, I feel, would have never happened. These developments in our life, these developments in our character, these ability to let go and enjoy life, irrespective of being in tremendous shit, would have never happened if if Guru Sahib Ji had not accepted us. That is the huge thing that has happened in our life, because that actually gets us, allows us to be more laid back, allows us to understand if certain people have come into our life, it is karmic. And that irrespective of whether you run behind certain people, if Guru Sahib Ji doesn't want it, it's not going to happen. When he wants who to enter your life, it will be there. Saying that, I want to say another thing, is that this particular science does not apply to everybody. Okay. When Guru Sahib Ji said that I take more than 90% of your bad karma.
Right.
Okay. It is not ke wholesale mein tusi jis tarah marzi banno aur Guru Sahib Ji will take your 90%. No. Guru Sahib Ji has said, I am there equally for everybody. जो मैनू जितना खिंच के अपने नाल रखेगा, मैं उसी तरह उसके नाल behave करूंगा. So if you are not giving your bit, your 99 or 100% bit,
Right.
I mean, you might be getting a carrot initially by getting some amount of your desire done so that you get into the path that Guru Sahib Ji wants you to go. But remember that there are thoughts that Guruji has about your reaction to him, your devotion to him, your love to him. When I look at you, Aarti, I know you are somebody who loves Guruji Maharaj with passion. Okay, I feel when I look at you that you are somebody who, if Guruji came along and told you in your dream, you got to do this, you might feel it's wrong, but you'll do it because you know and trust Sahib. So then he becomes responsible for your actions. So one has to reach that stage for somebody to say, okay, Guruji's taken up most of my karmas, most of my sins. Guruji is much more deeper than all of us realize, much more deeper.
Because I do feel that even getting that realization or that feeling to seep through us has to be a gift from him. It's not up to you and I to feel that way about Guruji. Who are we to love or do anything for Guruji? It's his bakshish to us.
No, I disagree on that.
Really?
I think one thing we can choose in life, like Guruji used to say, so once I asked Guruji, because there was somebody in the Sangat who was going through that, and I said, Guruji, this person hasn't done right, but what if this person leaves you after this. Okay, goes away. And he said, "Okay, I will wait for him to come back." A guru never leaves his bhagat. A bhagat can leave his guru. So I feel, and this is my personal experience, I can't say for you or anybody else, that once you have to allow yourself to accept. When you allow yourself to accept, that means your lotus opens. When your lotus opens is when the divine. ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੰਦੇ ਘੜੇ ਵਾਂਗ ਰਹੋ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਫ਼ ਕਰਦਾ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਆ ਜਾਓ ਫਿਰ So what is happening in that is basically.
But where is the concept of Gurmat here then?
Gurmat.
Gurmat milegi.
What is Gurmat? Gurmat is.
Yes, the positive, अच्छी, सुची सोच. We say कि हम भगवान से इतनी चीजें मांगते हैं, ये दे दो, गाड़ी दे दो, बंगला दे दो, ये गुरमत कोई नहीं मांगता because we feel like हमारी अपनी मत बहुत अच्छी है. And I feel like that वो गुरु का तरस, वो गुरु की मत, वो गुरु की कृपा भी, in fact भी नहीं, he is the biggest तोहफा that we can actually get. Because once we.
It is. But then you have to be open for it, na, Aarti? If you're not open for it.
Yes, but have you ever had a moment in your life, despite the understanding that you have and the love that you have, where you felt that your faith was shook up? And if yes, what did you do to reconnect or reignite or feel his presence all over again?
Oh, that's happened many times.
Okay.
There are times when I've gone in front of his photo and done kuti and had a full session. But I think there was one time in our life when I spoke about somebody to Guruji and Guruji very casually said, "Oh, chat pare usne." You know how casual Guruji could be. And this was a serious topic. And that person came and mucked up our lives. Because we did not take, and we knew, we did not take Guru Sahib Ji's warning or casual comment as a very serious comment. And we felt that Guru Sahib Ji should have warned us in a better way. Okay. And we stopped coming to Guruji. We completely stopped. And I think for 2-3 months, we did not. Then Guru Sahib Ji sent somebody in the Sangat and told us of what we have written in our lives, for what we want in our lives, and what was going to happen in the future. And ironically, at that time, my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, who had Sati's Janampatri, told him that this is about to happen in your life. And it was just the same. And we went back because we knew Guru Sahib Ji is Guru Sahib Ji to some extent. But the feelers and the love that Guru Sahib Ji sent, you can't ignore, you can't be egoistic about it, and you can't be proud. And but he treated us like spoiled children for months. We would come whenever we want, we would leave whenever we want. Guruji, like, you can't just leave until Guru Sahib Ji said. So he would pamper us. He would call us on off days. There was a lot of love given and an opportunity also to understand Guru Sahib Ji, because we did not understand Guru Sahib Ji. We did not understand the extent of Sahib's casual comment. So it is a two-way street. It is not that something only you will do. It is something that Sahib also has to do. Only when you, in another human, when you feel genuine love from another human, is when you turn towards the person and you say, okay, this person really cares. I should reciprocate. And we were hurt babies. And this
is, I agree.
Yeah, it takes two. It went both ways.
Do you believe in generosity?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
but when he wants to get his work done, how he will connect all the dots so that oh God, yes.
Yes.
No.
So
I don't.
In one of the conversations, and again, this may be a very loaded question, somebody made a comment that I don't understand how you Indians behave because, if you say that something bad happened, something untoward happened, you're like, oh my God, thank you, saste mein kat gaya, chote mein kat gaya, kaat ho gaya, must have been by karma. And then if something nice happens, you look at it as a gift from God that मेरे को बचा लिया. For example, oh, मेरी गाड़ी total हो गई लेकिन मैं बच गई. So why did God do it to begin with? And the way this question was framed, somebody brought it up, non-Indian in a conversation, and I felt like I didn't have a good answer. That why is it जब कुछ बुरा है तो वो मेरा ही कर्मा होगा और जब कुछ अच्छा है तो वो भगवान का तोहफा है तो अगर बुरा है तो कर्मा है तो अच्छा है तो भी तुम्हारा कर्मा है and what role does God really play in it because I was listening to one of the Banis which said that भगवान आपके कर्मों का साक्षी होता है एज एन विटनेस होता है बट भागीदार नहीं होता
भगवान होता है ना गुरु तो हमेशा भागीदार होता है भगवान और गुरु में बहुत फर्क होता है भगवान को गुरु बना सकता है और भगवान को गुरु की ही सुननी पड़ती है ही इज वन पर्सन हु भगवान कैन नॉट इग्नोर एंड दीज आर गुरुजी's words. When we come, Guru Sahib Ji used to say, we get our karmas written. We say, okay, this one we'll owe, this one we'll marry, this one we'll divorce, these many kids we'll have, this one's debt we'll pay, and this one will pay our debts. Okay. So when these things are all written, we are very gung-ho because grass is always greener on the other side.
And where does Karma Yoga fit in all this? Because everything is predestined. मैं तो कुछ कर ही नहीं रही, वही करा रहा है.
Exactly. That is what I said. I said, so everything is written. So where does karma come in? He said, karma only comes in thrice in your life. He says, for every small things, yes, you have a choice. But three times in your life, you're tested for your karma. Only 3 times. Where neither your guru will help you, neither your parents will help you, or nobody else in the world can help you. He says, but there's one hint. When you know you are at that kind of a crossroad where you feel it's a karmic point, remember, that whatever is good for you is wrong for your karma and whatever is bad for you is right for your karma. Because then, according to that decision, your road is formed, either going this way or going that way.
Wow.
Now, as for when we say that, I perhaps might not be able to answer that question that well, but whatever I can understand. Both are karma, whether good or bad happens. But when we can talk for ourselves because we have Guru Sahib Ji in our life. When we have Guru Sahib Ji in our life, they are rewards. 100%. They are rewards, whether it's mental, physical, materialistic, spiritual, one has to realize. We are born and brought up with the concept of God and Guru. Foreigners are not. And most of them don't understand how we can depend on somebody who is so divine because they haven't experienced and they need to experience to understand. मतलब जब तक तुम हाथ को आग में नहीं डालोगे तुमको कैसे पता है कितना गर्म है आग ये हिसाब है ठीक है अगर तुम्हारी कार which is totaled okay car is metal is shani is basically something heavy has been done and you walked out of it, it is God's grace. It is some amount of your good karma. It is your devotion to your guru. It is your good deed, everything combined. Guruji used to say one thing, that make life very simple because the actual structure of life is so complicated that one can get lost trying to evaluate everything and go ahead. Make it simple, make it about me, make it about enjoying life, doing the best you can, and just go forward. Don't complicate life. So, sorry, I don't have the right answer for you. But
No,
whatever
I
I
think it's
understand.
perspective. But and again, this is probably my own confusion, and I will turn to our Supreme Guru for guidance at his time. Because what comes to mind is कि एक ओंकार, एक ज्योत, God is one, right? And yet we as humans,
But
no,
whatever
I
I
think it's
understand.
perspective. But and again, this is probably my own confusion, and I will turn to our Supreme Guru for guidance at his time. Because what comes to mind is कि एक ओंकार, एक ज्योत, God is one, right? And yet we as human beings have created quite the divide in the name of God and our spiritual beliefs. For example, East में rebirth, incarnation का concept है, West में है ही नहीं. वेस्ट में ये है कि तुम मरते हो तो या हेवन में जाते हो, हेल में जाते हो, रीबर्थ का तो कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं है. एंड दैट काइंड ऑफ फ्यूल्स कंफ्यूजन कि अगर भगवान एक है तो इतनी सारी टीचिंग्स क्यों सर्कुलेशन में है. लाइक व्हाट इज द राइट बिलीफ, व्हाट इज द राइट थिंग टू डू.
Like Guruji used to say that all religions are like different TV channels. And जिसको जो टीवी चैनल सूट करता है वो उसी के पास जाता है. But now you will see even in the West the concept of rebirth and God and divinity in a different way is coming in, is seeping in. Things are opening up. Whatever we are brought up with, we are very fortunate that we are brought up with the kind of values that are required to pursue your soul's desire, which is not possible in a world where, how to put it, if somebody is pure in the West, सच बोलने वाला है, अच्छा काम करने वाला है, he is one over God. Okay, because God is simple. और हम लोगों में क्या है, हम लोगों में पहले ही डर होता है कि हमने गलत नहीं काम करना, हमने ऐसे नहीं करना, हमने वैसे नहीं करना.
हमें वहम बहुत ज्यादा है, बहुत
क्योंकि
तरह
वहम
का.
तो बंदों ने बनाया है ना.
मीट खा के तुम इनप्योर हो जाते हो. वो चर्च में जूते पहन के जाते हैं एंड वाइन भी पीते हैं, और उनके दिमाग में ख्याल भी नहीं आता कि मैं स्टेक खाऊं कि ना खाऊं. एंड हम इतने शैकल्स में हैं. तो हमें भगवान को प्लीज करने के लिए ज्यादा करना पड़ता है क्या?
देखो, हमारे भगवान हमारे गुरु हैं. हमारे गुरु जी ने हमारे मंदिर में नंदी जी लगा रखे हैं. ठीक है. So when I was in America, I ate beef, but once came under Guruji Sharan, I stopped eating beef.
मैंने तो
Because
बचपन में दिमाग में डाल दिया था, लाइक माय मॉम वाज लाइक पाप नहीं करना. एंड टुडे
अच्छा, हमारे
लाइक
में है ही नहीं ना. हमारे में
मेरे
तो
को
सरदार में है ही नहीं.
आंटी, बिकॉज़ माय किड्स they go to school here.
Yeah, I can
So
understand.
yeah, now what do I do?
You leave it to
And
Guruji.
yes,
Guruji has to come. When kids are concerned, you can't do anything as such.
yeah,
Guruji comes through the kids, goes into the system,
yeah,
gets them around whichever way is best for them. Because after all, they have to move forward and they are the ones who are going to lead us into the new world.
yes,
So they have to take Guruji forward with them.
right.
So Guruji gets into them. But the way we limited ourselves, okay, Guruji stopped me from eating non-veg. Okay. So I know that in the future, that Guruji said non-veg is going to be so contaminated that you won't be able to eat it. That is best you do not eat it. Then Sahib said कि सब्जियां उगाओ, अपने आप खाओ. Even today, even if I put it in pots and everything, I will try to grow my own vegetables as much as possible. It's not possible to do the whole thing, but just a bit of it. Do that. Get kids used to that okay, this is mint, this is spinach, this is, उनको तो बाजार जाके पता भी नहीं है कि कहाँ पे कैसे ग्रो होता है. किसी को पूछो इलायची कहाँ ग्रो होती है और कैसे ग्रो होती है.
True.
You need to Google to find out.
Yeah.
So these were things that Guruji's taught, and whatever Guruji has taught us is always leading to somewhere. And it's not just for our generation. Our generation, all the people who have met Guruji's shackles are breaking, the chains are breaking. They're joining there with him.
Yeah.
So it is more for the children, his Sangat, who are coming. I am ready to do these Zoom meetings. It's more for the future generations.
Yeah.
Our generation is done with. Whatever we have, we are going backwards. We are going more inwards. No, in the sense we are going more inwards, Aarti.
Yes,
we're going more inwards.
Yeah.
Okay. And suddenly I feel that I do not want to discuss religion and spirituality with others. It's irrelevant. What is inside me is what is relevant, and that is what I want to grow with.
Right.
There's no need to discuss.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have your point of view. Well and done. I have my point of view. I'll stick to mine. You stick to yours.
And strangely so, in my case, these differences come knocking in because look, in India, I did not have this divide because that was the only thing I knew.
Exactly.
And now my kids come in with a completely different POV, and I'm like, and they want to rationalize everything.
Oh, yeah. Fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
tell them it's between you and Guruji.
Yes.
Once I said to Guruji,
sometimes they call me an escapist then. That everything, between you and your Guruji. You're such an escapist, Mom. Maybe
no,
I
can't
am.
answer. You can't answer everything. It's not possible for us to know Guruji completely to answer each and every question.
Yes, exactly.
It's like at one time my brother used to not come to Guruji, and I should say, Guruji, please call my brother. And he must have got irritated because I must have said it over the years about 100 times, call my brother, call my sister. And then one day we were in Jalandhar, he had a fish tank there at one point. So I was looking at the fish tank, and Guruji suddenly stopped and said, you and your brother are not equal to me. You and your husband are not equal to me. You and your children are not equal to me. Kisi da ma, pyo, pen, pra are not on the same level. If I call you, it is not necessary that I will call your brother. Or I might call him later. His time might be later. So each one has their own relationship, and so do your kids. My kids also, they have their own Guruji. They'll say, we feel this. I said, bache, jo andar you feel with Guruji, go ahead with that. Let me do mine. Guruji, you do your Guruji.
Yeah.
So that's the best way to build their instincts.
That's a good perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, escapist, yeah. But I'm not the encyclopedia, neither are you.
Yeah, absolutely. Not even close. God,
not even close. Yeah, exactly. That is true.
Yeah.
But how much opposition do you get when you relate your thoughts or your experiences of Guruji? As, of course, there we are like 1% now of the Sangat.
I don't want to say opposition necessarily, but there have been times when you start to think कि तुमने मेरा सुना भी है, because you're not acting on it at all, कि एक कान से सुना और दूसरे से निकाल दिया. So not necessarily you're saying, hey, you're wrong, but it's like पूरा रामायण सुना दी और तुम पूछते हो कि सीता कौन था. So it's like, yeah, you're not questioning the Ramayana, but you're also not necessarily following it. But I will say one thing, and that's also very interesting because I feel like we can just plant the seeds, and that's it.
And
it's going to germinate at its own time. So because when I start my day, I go to Guruji's bedroom, I do matha take. Unke swaroop ke aage jhukkar. At night, I do matha take. And mechanically, I see my girls do that. If I ask them why are they doing it, no. But every morning, like autopilot by default, I see them walking towards Guruji's room. है करके कुछ feeling क्या आ रही है क्या नहीं आ रही ये नहीं मुझे पता. I've never asked them, but I see them do it.
That's beautiful.
So that's why I feel like you just plant the seeds and then उगे तो उगे नहीं उगे तो नहीं उगे.
Let go. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
You know.
one more thing I do want to ask you. During your most trying times, and we all have them,
Yeah.
some days are good, some days are not so good, and that's life. What are some of the words, teachings, moments you hold on to give you strength? And I want to know, what do you think of when you're at your high and also at your lowest? So just some memories, some words from Guruji. Anything you would like to share?
Before our bad time started, Guru Sahib Ji, it was an Empire State, and Guru Sahib Ji called us to the back room and told us to sit with him. Niche, we were sitting below. Guruji was on the sofa. And Guruji gave a 1 hour sermon of what life is and what he does for his Sangha, for his Bhagat, how far he will go for his Bhagat, um, how much of his powers he has to disguise. I remember him giving one example when Sahib said, Dekho, look at all these godmen. They walk around with gunmen. They can't be secure. They're not secure. He says, do you see me? He said, I sit in the car and go to the Bada Mandir or go anywhere I want. Do I need security? When you cannot protect yourself, how can you promise protection for anybody else? I mean, this one really stuck to me, that I don't need this, and that I'm a full doctor. Whether you're doing magic, whether you're doing tuna, whether you're doing voodoo, whether you're doing prayers, whether you're trying to entice me, whether you're trying to win me, just I can read through everything. I know you all inside out. You are like a clean slate. Whatever is written in it, I can just read it out to you. So it was like a very intense 1 hour sermon where Sadji just sat this way. And we were niche here, both of us sat in and this way and this way and this way, kept talking to us for 1 hour. And the crux of it was that you will have that time. You will go through shit. That is the only way your soul is going to get transformed. He said, he said, side ke karma da ped kandiyan wala hota hai. Okay, it has spikes. It's like a spiked tree. Jad koi bhi is karma de ped de utte janda hai, te chigya janda hai. You get scratched, you get bruised, you get hurt very badly. Because that's how pain is going to reach you, and that's how your soul is going to get affected. And it's the soul that moves forward with the lesson and not the body. But जो मेरा सच्चा भगत होंदा है उन्हां वास्ते मैं कर्मा दे पेड़ ते कंडे कट देना, like I cut off the tips. जब तुसी जाओ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸੱਟ ਲੱਗੇ ਪਰ ਐਨੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੁਲ ਜਾਓ. That is my grace. That is my grace. Yes. Amazing. So he said, enjoy everything in life. Never let sorrow and bad things pull you down. Because remember, I'm always there to pull you out of it. Yep. So when I go through my bad time, I will tell him, this is what you said to me. I'm just reminding you. The kandas are a bit too much. I cannot take them. Because I have been under house arrest for almost 12 years, where Guru Sahib Ji has not let me go out, not let me do a lot of things, and very limited people were allowed to meet me, and very limited people would come to my boutique also. And only it is actually very chosen people he would send. And so I know I have been kept in a confine because that is where I'm safe. That is where I have grown. And that is where I feel, now that I see it opening up, I miss it because there was a special energy in that confinement. So when I go through a bad time, I just say, this is where I'm safe. This is where my Guru Sahib wants me to be. This is where he said he'll take care of everything. So I must go walk through this path, however he's laid it out for me, because Sahib is there for me. I will be all right.
Amazing. All I can say is more power to your faith.
To all our faith. To all our
Yes.
faith. It's
Yes,
not easy, Aarti. It's not easy.
I know. I was just going to say
It
that.
is not easy. No,
It's
no.
far from easy. Yes.
No, 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 no. There have been horrible days and there have been extra horrible days, and there were days where I thought, okay, we've reached bottom, hard bottom, and then Guruji would find another bottom. Really, I mean, like he has the capability of finding beautiful bottoms. I swear.
And highs as well. And highs.
Very
There are days
different
I
highs.
felt like, why am I even here? Honestly, because this is a session where we talk honestly and we are vulnerable. I've had those moments. I'm like, why am I even here? And then, he instills some confidence, a little bit more love, more hope, and then I'm as good as new again.
Same,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah. And I think this session, Auntie, truly speaking, has been so thought-provoking. And the search or the quest for divinity is insatiable. So we definitely want to continue this conversation, and we will definitely love to bring you back for round 2. So I hope you will continue with us on this spiritual quest, because it's truly helped me, and I hope that it helps our listeners as well. Would you, Auntie?
I would love to. Whatever Guruji wants at the end of the day is what we end up doing. And yes, I would love to. It's always lovely talking to you. It's very interesting. You have such an agile mind, and you come up with the questions like, okay, and I have to go, okay, Bamby process. Yes.
वो अंदर की भूख, वो अंदर की प्यास.
No. You're a live soul. And this has been a very interesting session. And I thank all 3 of you for having me, Guru Sahib Ji, for allowing this session to come through. And may he always bless it. And may whoever's listening, Sahib bless everybody. Sarvata Bhala, like Guruji used to say.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivji Sada Sahai. Om Namah Shivaya, Guruji Sada Sahai. Guruji, कोई भूल चूक हो गई हो तो हमें क्षमा करें. Jai Guruji, and we'll be back with the next session soon. Thank you.
Looking forward. Thank you. Jai Guruji.
Jai Guruji.